Hello. Can we just check that everyone can hear me? Just check. So basically today I'm going to be doing something that I wanted to do for a while. I'm going to be making a tier list. I've never done this before, but you know. Can everyone hear me? Depends on how many people have got in this stream actually. Oh, my back. I feel like Sentinel Prime in my Christmas specials. Oh, my back! My back is gone again! Just want to check before I start that everyone can hear me. I'm pretty sure my audio is coming through. But I just want to check. So anyone who is watching this after the live stream, just feel free to skip ahead until I do start talking. Okay, so I've just checked my own video and I'm coming through pretty well. Yeah, I can hear myself. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay, so today, as I was saying, I'm going to be ranking something today. My first ever tier list. I've always wanted to do a tier list, but I've never actually done one myself. This is something I wanted to do for a while with this specific thing, but I've just never gotten to it. I just want to say I'm actually got a separate camera right there. That's my phone camera. Got my microphone right here. So if I'm looking here, it's because I'm looking at the actual video, but obviously here's a camera. So please don't think I'm being rude by looking over here. But yeah, so basically, I got inspired by Thanatos Prime recently. If you don't know who he is, let me introduce him. He voices a lot of villains in my series. He not only voices the absolute murderous Predator King, but he also voices Starscream. And I recently, not yesterday, the day before, I believe, day before, hey Michael, thanks for joining. So yeah, I think it was Monday, it might have been Monday, I think it was Monday, I uploaded the best of Starscream. So don't worry about that, Michael, I've literally just started. Welcome, Jude, welcome. And that was not all creepy, I don't know if anyone heard that, but a bumblebee that I literally just bought from the charity shop, which has electronics, has just started to go off. Now, I don't know what people's paranormal... Oh, is that what we're going to do now? We're just going to have Bumblebee in the background. I don't know people's paranormal beliefs, but people say when there's energy around, electronics set off. So maybe there's a spirit with us doing the video. That's them saying hi through Bumblebee. I don't know. I might have to turn it off because, yeah, he's just shooting away. I'm going to turn that Bumblebee off, but welcome, Spirit, if they're here. That was unexpected. So this was the Bumblebee. And he's shut up now. Now I've said I'm going to turn him off, he's shut up. So he's got electronics in him, and I literally just bought him. And they always say like pre-owned items have some spirit sometimes, so I don't know. He's shut up now. So I'm gonna put him in the background, just staring at me. Can we see him? Yeah, we can see him. So so that noise was Bumblebee. I did not expect that to happen. So where was I? I've lost my train of thought now. Thanatos Prime, that was it. So Thanatos voices Starscream, Topspin. He's going to voice Strafe and Slug in End of Days Part 2 and so on. He's voiced a couple of others, Steelbane at night, which he always forgets about. Thanatos was in the chat about 10 minutes ago. I'm not sure if he's still in here, but he said it'll be dropping in. Now, Thanatos basically inspired me because he's been doing a lot of Godzilla and King Kong tier lists, his favorite designs, because he's a big Godzilla fan. And I highly recommend you check those out if you are also a Godzilla and King Kong fan. He's, give him your thoughts on his tier list, or make your own, and let him know your opinions on where the designs go for you. I thought about doing a tier list for myself a while back, but I just never really got into it. And then I saw Thanatos with just StreamYard and loads of tier lists, and I thought, maybe it is time to do one of my own. So here we are, and as I said, I've uploaded on Monday the best of Starscream. That's also a little series I've been wanting to do for a while now. The Hasbro channel, I think, is it Transformed Official? I think Transformed Official channel on YouTube, because both Hasbro Pulse and Official Transformers both upload like full episodes of Transformers, but I think it's the Official Transformers channel that does the best of series, and they have like the best of Bumblebee, and they have like a compilation of loads of different episodes with that character. So basically, I've done Starscream, the best of Starscream. We're going to do like the best of Optimus. We're going to do the best of Bumblebee, Megatron, Topspin, whoever. Obviously my story isn't nearly complete yet, so it's just sort of filling in the gaps. That's why it's a volume 1. So when we do volume 2, I can add more stories to that, or I can show different stories. But we'll have loads of volumes for each character, hopefully. And once my series is complete, you'll be able to see the development of the characters. Volume 1 was about Starscream's rise to power. And can we do Magnus? Yeah, we can definitely do the best of Magnus. I recently did the Expanded Universe Magnus, which I'll be talking about on the tier list in a moment. That's one of the first on there you can see that we're going to discuss. I think it's number 4. So yeah, I'll definitely be doing the best of Magnus. I've got some more stories I want to tell with Magnus, and I'll definitely, once I've got those out, because I want a big, decent amount in the stories to release it, I will definitely do that. Yeah, Dion. So yeah, that was interesting, Dion. For a long time, I was thinking, what do I do for Magnus? And over time, it just became sort of clear from my universe just to have him as Ultra, because Magnus was a rank almost. And I just kind of thought, Ultra, Magnus. If Magnus is a rank, take the rank away from Magnus. He's just Ultra, and that's the base figure, and that's where he gets his upgrades. So yeah. Yeah, so Magnus, I thought about doing an actual arrival to Earth for him. We do sort of see it in Dawn of Corruption Part 1. We don't see it, but we hear about it, and it happens sort of off screen. But I did something in Dawn of Corruption Part 3 where RC comes to Earth, and then I made the expanded universe called Partners. And basically, Partners fits in between like Act 2 and Act 3 of Dawn of Corruption Part 3, so it fits in between another video. So I could always do like a Magnus. I don't have any plans for it, but I could always do a Magnus coming to Earth and slot that in between like Act 2 and Act 3 of Dawn of Corruption Part 3. We'll see. I haven't got any plans, as I said, but we'll definitely see where it goes. Yeah, Jude, I definitely would recommend making that stop motion. You know, just before I start, I'll just touch upon this. So this is what I always say. You know, in my series, I'm telling it how sort of you know, with the not original, but like the official Transformers stories. Sometimes I watch them and I enjoy them, but I think, oh, it would be really cool to see that idea. And sometimes my idea that I think of, I put in my series that I wish they did in the show. Now, if you look at my series and disagree with the decision I've done, that's completely fine. We all have our opinions, but use that as motivation. So if you want to see Dion in my series and he wasn't Magnus, use that as motivation. Say, you know, I want to make a story about Dion becoming Magnus. So that can then branch off into your own story. You know, that's a beautiful thing. You can create it how you want it. But yeah. Yeah, Magnum, that's a good idea. It's kind of like Ultra, yeah, definitely what I was going for with the base figure. But without further ado, let us talk about tier list. So, also, I'm free for another hour, but I may have to for 5 minutes, just take a quick break, see how it goes. I'm sort of expecting a bit, maybe a disturbance for the disturbance in the force, maybe like a phone call or something, but we'll see where it goes. My throat's a little bit dead as well. So here we're going to go with the tier list. So I've basically got these here. I've got my personal favorites, which are like my best. Well, not necessarily my best, but just ones that hold a special place in my heart, or my go-to story that are just the best, like they top everything. Then I've got my best work, which may not fit into my personal favorites, but it's some of my best work. In fact, I might change that to, that's a more fitting title there. Then we've got I'm happy with these. And then we've got good, and then all right, but could be better. The reason I haven't got bad in this, I wouldn't really say any of my stop motion I do are terrible. That's in the eye of the beholder. You know, you might look at it and think, wow, that is terrible. It depends on your perspective, your personal opinion. Some people like to stop motions done one way, some like it done another. Again, that's personal opinion. And I'm not trying to be like, hey, my stop motion's good, there's nothing bad about it. I definitely know there's things I can improve on it, especially when I look back on older ones. But it's because I've said on the channel a few times, like I actually have OCD, so I know the standard that I need to reach for my videos. There's like a minimum, pretty much, and I won't settle for anything less for my personal work. So I wouldn't ever make anything that I would feel would be bad in the future or wouldn't age well. So that's why I've not put like a terrible category, because I don't think any of my work would reach that, in my opinion, because I know the effort I put into it, the time and the energy. And again, I've reached that certain standard in my own mind where I think this is good. If I think that's bad, that's a bad idea, I'll either not make the story, or I will just keep at it until it reaches like the good category or the happy category. We'll go into these because there's one or two examples where I am thinking, it's all right, it's not bad, but it could be better, and that's where it fits in. So, again, sorry if I'm coughing, you know. So, prelude. So this, we're going to start from here to here. So we've got end of days here, we've got prelude here. Now, the thing to know, apologies if you can hear my dog in the background or the neighbours. Thing to know is I'm going in chronological order, not production order. So I make my expanded universes out of order, but it's fine because I know exactly like the story where it fits in. A lot of the times I'll have written the full story, so it makes sense, and I just sort of pick and choose which ones I want to edit at certain times. So I could have Prelude, which is a brand new one. Then we go to a Curse Gateway, which was like 4 years ago. Head Start, which was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Magnus, which was like in the last 3 months. So you get where I'm going. Like the time frames are very different. But we're going in chronological order. So Prelude. Prelude is a good one. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff that I'm happy with, some stuff that could be improved, and my overall thoughts on the project. The production-wise, I'm happy with Prelude because originally I wanted to. I don't know if I've done. I think I did do a director's commentary on Prelude. I know I didn't do it on. I don't think I've done a director's commentary on Dark Science or Bounty Hunter, and I don't think I've done one on Trans-Scanning. But I think everything else I've done a commentary on. So I think I mentioned in my director's commentary for Prelude that I was originally going to have like other shots. Like I was going to have loads of shots of like the universe forming, all the planets forming. I was going to have like all energy sort of colliding. And eventually I just thought less is more. And I did have a couple of shots where we saw planets forming into these big fireballs. So we did actually see that. But again, less is more. And the Prelude was literally just, it starts the universe off. Nothing comes before my Prelude. Like the Prelude is the start. And D-Barry Audio, I don't know if they're watching, but Derek, who actually narrates as the narrator, did a fantastic job. So I am going to put it. Now I kind of wish there was a category between some of my best work and I'm happy with. I think I'll put it where I'm happy with. And you know, these here, I mind like this one here could go there. The ones closest here are the better ones. So I put a Curse Gateway here. That means that's better than that, or vice versa. So I'll put that back down there. And if anyone has any comments, you know, if you want to know my thoughts on anything, or if you have any questions, you know, about the production or the characters, I will do my best to answer it. Obviously, as long as I don't spoil, you know, I'm not going to spoil an episode, but if you have any questions, just let me know. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, I can see that, Jude. So, theory that Cyburn is Shadow Striker. Yeah, I can see that. Especially since they now sort of share that mold. I can see it being a bit of a brother and sister vibe as well, because Shadow Striker, you know, she's sort of rebellious and everything, and I feel it would be like a very competitive, volatile relationship between the two. The day you released Magnus inspired me. Really? Wow. See, these are the things I never really hear about. I put the you know, the videos up, and I always check the comments. But I never see the effect it has on people. I don't know if it inspires people. People say they like it, but I never know, you know, what effect, you know, what they take away from it. Obviously, because I'm not involved in their personal life, so I don't speak to everyone, and I don't, you know, always get their thoughts. It really depends what people leave in the comments, you know, whether they enjoyed it or not. But to hear that it actually inspired you to create a character, that is really cool. I'm really happy with that. Thank you. That's probably the best thing that could have come from it, because I really want to inspire people with my universe. Oh, literally, yeah. So me and Jude were on the same wavelength right there. So yeah, I think it works. So next, the Accursed Gateway. Oh, interesting one. So the Accursed Gateway was my first ever collaboration with Harrison. Looking back, I think there are things that I would change. Nothing major, probably just little bits of dialogue, little bits in filming, mainly towards the end where there's sort of some shots at the end. Sort of spoiler warning here, but it's not really a spoiler warning, but there's basically some shots where I do not visual effects, but I do some green screen and stuff, and some of that could have been better. But from a production standpoint, I had fun filming it. It was really cool. I had a lot of practical sets and props. I think I could change some of the police dialogue, especially Prowl. I feel like I could have changed. If I wrote it now, I would definitely change it to where I am. I just feel the paranormal activity side of things with the police wouldn't go down the way it did. Maybe it would, I don't know. But I feel like the police should be a bit more serious in terms of that and like just not believe them, because there's a bit where they turn up and Quake's like, "Officer, please don't go in there. There's a demon in there." And the police sort of ignore him a little bit, but they sort of just brush him off a little bit. They acknowledge him, but they just sort of brush him off. But I think some of Strong Arm's dialogue could change a little bit as well. But again, it was her second night shift. Well, her first night shift, but her second shift. So Strong Arm's new. So her dialogue of her being a little bit more naive, I suppose, does fit. But there's definitely some things that I could change on it. But the collaboration process was decent. Me and Harrison spoke about it many times. I did feel, though, I'm very project focused, and basically when I start a project, it's like it's like a tunnel vision. In the tunnel, I see the end, and I'm like a train just going towards it. I feel like with Harrison, he was like a passenger, and he just sort of like clinging onto the train with dear life, and I just Bumblebee goes off again. I feel like I might have to turn Bumblebee off. I don't know why he's setting off. And I was just talking about paranormal activity and demons. Okay, if you shut up, so. Okay, so where was I? Demons. Yeah, so I was like on this like tunnel vision train, like going 100 miles an hour, and Harrison was just clinging on for dear life, like this collaboration is too intense. And I could have involved Harrison, you know, looking back retrospectively, I could have involved him in the process more. We involved a lot in the screenplay, like we were both very heavily involved in the screenplay and everything. But when it came to like the lines and filming, I sent him a few pictures and videos. But when it came to like the editing side, I sort of just made a scene, sent to him, and then just like, here's the next scene, the project's done. Whereas, and I think some of the music as well, I just sort of got myself. Whereas looking back, and I'll talk about this in Escape from Chaos when we get to that. There's probably a bit more to talk about in the collaboration ones, but when I did Escape from Chaos, I said to Harrison, like, I wasn't looking back, I'm not happy with how I was collaborating. Let's improve it. And Escape from Chaos, totally different story. Harrison was like the train driver on this one, and I was like the second train driver. Anyway, I'm getting lost in my words. So looking back, though, I really do enjoy A Cursed Gateway, which is why I'm going to put it in some of my best work. It's nostalgic for me, even though it was only a few years ago. Let's just look at the comment. My thoughts on Sideburn. Can't speak. My thoughts on Sideburn and Shadow Striker. I like them both. I've always had a quite a liking to Sideburn's character, especially growing up. You know, I sort of grew up with more Transformers animated, but I always got those. In the UK, they released loads of like Robots in Disguise season 1 DVDs, and it was on I think it was called Jetix, the TV channel, and it was on there quite a bit, and I got to watch Robots in Disguise quite a lot, and it was always the same episodes that I could watch. It was only until I got the season 1 of Robots in Disguise I fully watched the series. Like, I only watched like the same episodes over and over because that's all I had access to. but I always got to like Sideburns' character, especially how Prowl and X-Brawn sort of balanced him out. But yeah, Sideburn, I definitely like him. Do you have an idea about Shadow Striker becoming a Decepticon and wrongfully blamed the Autobot for Sideburns' death? I could see that. Do I have an idea about it, like feedback-wise? I could almost see it being like a cover-up. Like if they're siblings, maybe Shadow Striker accidentally is sort of involved by accident in Sideburns' death, and maybe it contributes, like her actions, whether directly, indirectly contributes to Sideburns' death, and maybe she like covers it up or something. Which Predaking should I pick for my universe? Do you want a prime? Really depends what you're going for. I always say if you're going to make a series, you know it best. I spoke to quite a lot of people who make their own series, and I always say, here's my opinion, but this is your series. You know the story, you know the characters, you know what's best. So you've also got to factor in the cost. Buying a G1 Predaking, I don't know if you're going for the original or whether you're going for the Combiner Wars and the upgrade kits or just a Prime. You've got to obviously consider the costs. What have you got access to? But also, look at different ones, like different G1 figures. Look at different Prime figures for Predaking, because there's quite a few different ones out there. There's Voyager, there's Leader, there's a few Voyagers actually. And see which fits yours best and most logically. What do you want from it? My original character, Omega Magnus, he's trying to help Skyhammer Magnus bring order to the Autobots, because ever since Ultra Magnus died, they've been unorganized. Oh, nice. Yeah. See, that makes sense. Because Ultra Magnus is very law and order. And unless someone else steps in, I can see quite a bit of chaos sort of filling the ranks. And yeah, they don't listen to him, probably because he doesn't have a presence like Magnus, or he doesn't have that booming voice. Yeah, definitely, that makes sense. Definitely agree. That could be a cool idea. Okay, so next one is Head Start. I'm quite happy with this. It's a very simple one, and even at the start of the episode, I basically have a little tagline at the start saying what the story is. Basically, there's a lot of political stuff on Cybertron going on, and Megatron's like, I'm going to send a message to the High Council. Now, this ties in a lot to Frenemies and the Decepticons, which are two big projects I'm working on. I'm not filming them, I'm still writing them. I'm sort of writing them on and off. But Head Start fits in sort of in the middle of those projects. Obviously, when I make them, I'll have it all in chronological order in my playlist, which I can link in the description below if you want to watch that. But a lot of stuff I'm happy with Head Start. The way this thumbnail here with Sewar. So Sewar is actually Moonracer. It's her former name, kind of like D16, Ryan Pax, Ariel, B127. Sewar is just a name I came up with, just to be honest. I just came up with it. But I took a lot of consideration into like the emergency services driving behind her, putting the fire out. You can see even the blue glow of the lights glowing against Sewar on her back. She's in front and it's sort of lighting her back up. So it's a simple story, and I don't really see, apart from the Icon news scene, I could add some more decorative things visually, but I don't see anything else that I could really improve with. So I'm going to put that right there. It's a fun short story to watch. So Magnus, we're on to Magnus now. This was my latest one. Yeah, it was my latest one. I've done quite a few this year. Magnus is my latest. went a few different ways about this. I talk a lot about sort of alternate versions of events in my commentary. So if you want to watch that, feel free to go on my channel and watch it. The commentary version is where I obviously discuss the different things, and it was just like the motion pictures rather than stop motion being used, or certain bits with Magnus getting the armor, and a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you may not have noticed watching it, or first time. But I'm pretty happy with Magnus. It's always been one of them stories that I've wanted to tell for a long time, but I just never got around to doing it. But I would say it'd probably be around here, I think. It's strange because I've known what my favorites are for a long time, but putting them in perspective in order like this is pretty good. Now. Twins. Now I'm just going to check comments before I check twins, because I have something to discuss on twins. Cover up. Yeah, like I just kind of thought maybe Shadow Striker and Sideburn, if they were siblings, maybe one of them died, and then Shadow Striker maybe tries to cover it up or something. I don't know. Just a random idea. Senate. That could work. Yeah, that could work. That could work. I can see that if it's a corrupt Senate, a cover-up would make more sense in that respect. And that would make sense as well, Zeta and Sentinel. I can imagine them being quite a toxic pair, arguing with each other, but also a ruthless force to be reckoned with. Okay, so twins. This was made a few years ago. I think like 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was a Halloween special. Yeah, it was. And me and Thanatos Prime has always had quite a close friendship, like a brother, brother from another mother. And to be in a stop motion where Top Twin and Twin Twist are twin brothers, and it's just me and Thanatos just going back and forth, I feel we vibe very well. I don't know if Thanatos is watching this bit, but Thanatos weren't too keen on the young top spin, but like his personality. But again, that's almost a good thing, because if you hate where they start out, look at what they're like now. Like Top Spin right now is a silent but deadly killer. He's a wrecker. He's forced to be reckoned with. He's almost like Daryl Dixon of The Walking Dead. Topspin at first deals with a lot of anxiety, even trying to sort of live through Twin Twist's eyes to make him more confident. And slowly he just succumbs to a lot of more like anxiety issues. We'll see a lot more get developed in First Stand of the Wreckers, which will come out. But obviously now in End of Days, he's a warrior, and we see that growth. I've always liked the fight scene between Twin Twist and Shockwave. That was a really cool fight. We saw Quake, Croc, and Trigger Happy in there as well the first time we saw them. No, we saw Trigger Happy in Head Start, but we saw Megatron sort of full guards of Croc, Trigger Happy, and Quake for the first time debuting in Twins. And Twins is just a really good story, in my opinion. I'm happy with how it was filmed, the sound effects, the voice acting. I remember it vividly filming it. Like, I really do remember it. And I think it really pulled at the heartstrings, right? Right at the end, it pulled at the heartstrings still. And for that, I've always said it. It's one of my favorites, and it's going up there. Now, Dark Science. Oh, boy. Now we're getting into it. So, Dark Science is a weird one for me. You may not have seen the thumbnail before, but that's sort of the original the actual poster for Dark Science. Bit of a weird one, because it's very short, but it dumps a bit of information on the audience that feeds into Twins, but at the same time, it's feeding into something else that I haven't revealed yet. So it's a lot of information that you may not necessarily understand. Looking But again, dialogue changes could be done. Some of the visual effects I could definitely do with changing. But that was a product of its time. I think all my projects have still aged well because, again, I know the standard of my work. I won't release it unless it's a certain standard. Just because of my brain, the way it's wired, I need it to be a certain level. So I wouldn't say it's bad, but if I were to make it now, I would definitely do certain things a little bit differently. The story would be the same. It might just be a few tweaks of dialogue or would change the visual effects. But I'm going to put it in all right, but could be better. Again, not bad. I enjoy it. Maybe when my universe is complete and it slots into place nicely, I will appreciate it more. And I still do appreciate it. Let's see. Comments just catching up. Yeah, that definitely feels like something that character would go and do. But I guess I'll try and... Huh. Yeah, it's like a conflict, isn't it? How they're involved in this dark side of them, but they also care about others. You know, it's got that conflict of interest in that character for them. You know, which way are they going to sway? Phase 2, Megatron GX Trypticon. Ooh. And Phase 2. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to that. When you do make it, definitely, share it. I'd love to be watching the series as it develops. Okay, so Escape from Chaos. Yeah, so going on from A Cursed Gateway. So what a lot of people might not know is me and Harrison was never going to make the Accursed Gateway. It was always Escape from Chaos. We always wanted to make this, and again, you can see the commentary and the unused ideas, which are on my channel, but we always wanted to make an escape room Transformers story, which we did, and basically I said to Harrison, I can't make it yet. I don't know how I'm going to make it yet because I wasn't as advanced back then when I did a Cursed Gateway. I didn't think I would be able to do Escape from Chaos, and if I did, I wouldn't pull it off very well. So we did a Cursed Gateway, and I've done some other stories since. And I think that it developed my skills and everything and made Escape from Chaos even better. Now, what I was talking about with the Cursed Gateway, where I could have improved my collaboration with Harrison, Escape from Chaos, totally different story. Harrison wrote full scenes as I did. We both went away and wrote different scenes and made some other scenes we wrote together, which we did with the Cursed Gateway as well. But we really collaborated well on it. I showed him a lot more photos, a lot more video behind the scenes. We did a lot of calls about it. We did a lot of updating things. Harrison did some of the soundtrack. I sent him a lot more scenes that were done and everything like that. And it was just an all-round better experience. Harrison was also I don't want to say a liaison, but he liaised with like one or two of the voice actors himself. Because I was basically saying, Harrison, it's always me sending a line out to the actors and telling them how to say the lines. They need to do retakes or anything like that, which I don't mind. But Harrison, I think, wanted that experience. So I said to him, you go away, you deal with those voice actors and I'll deal with these ones. And it'll be develop our connections with them a bit more closely and yours with them more closely, rather than me just dealing with everyone and having to like flick between each one. You can sort of focus on that group a little bit more intimately. So Harrison dealt with, that side of the voice acting. And he did it incredibly well. I'm really proud of him for that. I meant to say this on my commentary with Harrison, but it was one of the things I meant to say and it just completely went because we had so much to talk about. So that I enjoy the story. The action's good. The mental health aspect is really good. I'm happy with how Harrison wrote that and how he dealt with it. The characters were good. The violence and the gore was very close to Saw, the Saw films, even though I hadn't seen them at the time, because I watched Saw 1 and 2 after Escape from Chaos was made, and I was surprised how close I got it. So for that, I'm going to put it here. I might come back to this, but I'm going to put it there for now, because A Curse from Gateway just has that special part in my heart, because it was the first collaboration. Maybe it's nostalgia winning. Oh boy, Bounty Hunter. Okay, so this is one I did not make the director's commentary for. Bounty Hunter feeds into sort of like the Arrival to Earth series, which I haven't made yet. Oh boy, did I have some technical difficulties with this one. This was at a time, I think my computer was getting repaired, and it was in and out, and there were so many errors, glitches, and everything with my computer and the software and the footage. It's only like a 5-minute episode, and it was just every error you could think happened. Blue screen of death, computer just dying, glitching software. The green screen at one point was like on and off. So the bits where like you can see the green screen, it flicked between the green screen being there, and then it showed the actual background that was there, like Cybertron and the buildings and everything. Then it flicked back to green screen. Then the actual footage would flick. I think it did start like just randomly distorting as well. I genuinely, my computer was dead at that point. End of Days did some damage to my old computer. I'm pretty happy with the dialogue, but if I was going to say which stop motion of mine I would not say it's bad, but say it's my least favorite, it's definitely this one. So I made the decision so quickly there. Now we got The Poet. This is pretty fun. There's different aspects to this. So it's short, which is good. It introduces the alien bounty hunters, which we'll see more of in the future, and we do see them in Space Chase. I'm really happy with the visual effects on The Poet. Space, the background, the ocean, Skybite being on like a rocky planet. Looking back, I think the shot of, again, this will be spoilers territory, but the shot where Skybite is swimming up in the sky and we sort of see it's a really funny shot, but we see his tail sort of going side to side and he swims up. Because if you have this Skybite figure, you know how that tail moves. It's very restrictive. I would do it differently now. I've worked out a way to actually move the tail, which will be featured in future videos, hopefully, if it works well. I could improve that. There's nothing bad about The Poet. Endput as Skybite was just hilarious. He had me laughing every single time. Endput returns as Mind Wipe this Christmas, and his lines are funny. He's a funny guy. So I'm going to put The Poet. Let's see. I'm probably going to put The Poet here for now. Again, everything was brilliant with the voice acting side. I think it's just probably not like the greatest story. It's still a good story. I really enjoy it. But compared to like Twins, obviously it's a big difference. And none of my stories are filler stories. I will never create a story for filler. I will always have a meaning to make that story, you know? I'm just checking on comments. Yeah, Liege, the great deceiver. I can see him doing that. Blaming Megatronus. You had some interesting comments there in terms of the series that you're both talking about. Again, with it being your series, you know best what to do with it. You know what characters would work well with others, what characters could benefit the story, and also the effect that it has on them. A lot of people sort of kill characters off for the sake of it. And I think if it's a background character, that's fine. When it comes to like a main character dying, you've also got to see what effect it has on them. A great example is Silverbolt in my series. You may not see it yet, but his death has a rolling impact on how the stories progress, how the Autobots treat Predaking and other Decepticons. So it really, you can consider these things. If that character dies and that character lives, how are they going to change the relationships with other people? How will it progress the story? And again, your series the best. So those are the questions I would ask you. You don't have to answer them. If you don't want to, if you want to think on it. But have these things in mind, because it'll make the story so much more emotional. If you see that character's effect that it has, that they've died, this character dying, this character survived, how does that change the story? You can make this any way you want, and that's the great thing about it. So definitely, if you've got an idea you want to do, go for it. I can't wait to see it. But, take the time it needs to be amazing. Space Chase. Okay. These are some of my cool ones. They're all cool, but yeah. Space Chase is pretty good. I would say, I've done some fight scenes since Space Chase. But I would say the fight between Swerve and Axor is one of my favorites. The story is pretty good with Space Chase because it's all the sort of arrival to Earth, responding to Optimus Prime's message. So it takes place after the Arrival to Earth miniseries. And when you see Space Chase, when you see New Recruit and Partners, you all see, and We Are Here, We Are Waiting, you all see the Autobots sort of following Optimus Prime's message to Earth. And I would say Space Chase, I'm going to put it right here. Now, the Velocitronian Cup, this was one that I didn't really have problems editing, but it definitely, just checking my phone battery because it's nearly dying. I'm going to have to speed this up because otherwise my phone's going to die, which is my camera. The Velocitronian Cup I'm happy with, and you probably see where it's going now I've said that. It didn't really have any issues editing. It just was very heavy because I was using 3D environments I never used before. My computer was just like, what the heck is this? What is this big 3D model you've inserted? So I want to do a Velocitron series, like a trilogy. I've got 2 more stories planned, and I'm not sure when I'm going to make them. Again, I will make them, but it's going to be interesting where the Velocitron series goes. So I feel like the Velocitronian series would be more, I'd have more to say about it when the full trilogy is out. And I will do a trilogy, like a big trilogy compilation video and a commentary on them all when they're done. But at the moment, I don't have a load to say. We have Bella starring as Override, which was really good. It was just a bit of a weird one, the Velocitronian Cup, because I filmed it years ago, and it just sort of sat on my computer, a bit of an unedited, lost episode. And then a lot of the voice actors just dropped out, which is, no fault of their own. They had their own commitments. But then I'd replace that voice actor, and then they would just drop out, and then I'd get another one and drop out. So eventually I just ended up voicing some of the characters myself. So it was a bit of a strange one. It was kind of one that went on for years. I just didn't go anywhere. But I still like the episode. And for that reason, I'm going to put it I'm going to put it there for now. Again, it might change when I make the other 2 installments. Dawn of Corruption Part 1. Interesting one, again. With the Best of Starscream, I was sort of rewatching Dawn of Corruption Part 1, 2, and 3 a little bit. I was doing other things at the time, but I was in the actual video majority of the day, just sort of in and out and watching it. And definitely picked up on something that I would change. Dawn of Corruption Part 1, 2, and 3 are a product of their time, and I think they have aged well. But if I were to make them now, there'd definitely be some changes, mainly to the dialogue. When I originally made Dawn of Corruption Part 1 and 2 and 3, I had some different ideas, and maybe I'll make a video on that one day about the original story for Dawn of Corruption. It was basically the same, but there were a few tweaks. Dawn of Corruption Part 3 was entirely different, though, so I've always tried to find my original screenplay for Dawn of Corruption Part 3, but I don't seem to be able to find it. So if I do find it, I'll probably do like an actual StreamYard showing you the actual screenplay. But yeah, Dawn of Corruption Part 1, I'm pretty happy with. I think I get what I was going for with the original story, and I'm still quite happy with. I would probably make the fight between Optimus and Megatron longer, and there are some shots I would change. I'd probably change a couple of the figures, like I'd probably change Jazz to a studio series or something, but overall I'm happy because I really like the Africa scenes. Those are probably my favorite scenes in there. I really like the lighting that I did in those, and I'm going to put it there. New Recruit, one of my latest ones this year, well, more at the start of the year. This follows on directly after Dawn of Corruption Part 1, and we see Sideswipe coming to Earth. Now, there is a shot right at the end. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a shot towards the end, and that is genuinely one of my favorite shots I've ever done. I was just watching it on repeat, loop, just kept watching it. I was like, I can't believe I've made that. I had an idea to make that, and I just can't believe it actually turned out that good. So, yeah. Just checking the comments again. Hey, Teen Titan, welcome. I'm 20 years old and I'm a college student, and I have a question. Can I create another channel about stop motion or something else? You mean separate to your Duke channel Imagination crossovers? Yeah, totally. It's really up to you. One thing I would actually say is, if you're a college student, don't set a YouTube channel up with your college email. My friend made a mistake with that. He made a YouTube channel with his email for college, and eventually that email, when he left college, closed down. So that meant he had to make an entirely new YouTube channel because that YouTube channel shut down. So if you're going to make a YouTube channel, make it with a personal email. Just a little thing there. Again, I don't know your situation, whether that's relevant, but just something there. But you can definitely create another channel. People have different channels for different things. They have one for streaming. They have one for stop motion. They have one for like video reviews, figure reviews, etc. So it's really up to you how you want to do it. For me, I always sort of stay single with my channel. I just sort of do my one channel and just focus on like a few different things, mainly stop motion, but now and then I'll do a little bit of a different video. But you can definitely create another channel if you think I want that separate and to my rest of my videos. If you want it separate to the rest of your videos, I'd say go for it. It'd probably be hard doing both, 2 channels at once, promoting both, but if you think you can do it and you know you can do it, do it. I believe you can do it. Okay, New Recruit, I forgot about that. It's going to be interesting now. And I think because, it's strange because when I filmed New Recruit, those desert scenes in the like Nevada desert, I could have improved that. but toward the end of the project, they were some of my best shots I've done. And the animation was pretty good, like stop motion wise. And I see it would go in. I'm happy with, but I think because the shots at the end, there's quite a few good ones. I think I'm going to put it there. Dawn of Corruption Part 2. Okay. So I was watching it like on the Best of Starscream volume, and there was a bit where, spoiler alert, but Starscream and Shockwave break into the Autobot base and scan like Teletran 1, and just before that, Ratchet is like, okay, I've installed a new firewall, so anyone who breaks in is gonna like not get into our firewall. And then just by chance, Starscream and Shockwave come and hack in. And that was part of the story, you know. Looking back, I'm thinking, oh yeah, just by chance it happened. They break in the base and scan the computer just as you've installed the firewall. There are little bits I would change on that, but again, if I redid it, that would still be in the story. So I would just change the dialogue. I'm happy with the fight at the end, the ending fight. I'm very happy with that, and I like the opening of Dawn of Corruption Part 2. I like how it follows on from New Recruit and Dawn of Corruption Part 1. And I don't know whether it's better than Dawn of Corruption Part 1. I'm going to put it in the good category because it's good and I like it. I am happy with it, but there's definitely stuff I could improve. This chapter here, all right, but could be better. That's for like Dark Science and Bounty Hunter, where I'm just like, yeah, okay, they're good, but they definitely could be better. We Are Here, We Are Waiting. So these are some of my latest ones now. Definitely, that is going probably. Do I put it there or there? We Are Here, We Are Waiting is a story that I had written for a long time, way before I made it. But Twins just has that edge over it. If you want to hear my full thoughts and everything on We Are Here, We Are Waiting, again, I have my director's commentary where I talk a lot. But We Are Here, We Are Waiting. Yeah, I think it just loses to Twins. Just. Because I did some pretty good things in We Are Here, We Are Waiting. Partners now. The soundtrack was good on this. I like how I did the American flag on the moon, how that was faded, because I like to make my series real, and I looked up, like, scientifically, what does the flag look like on the moon? And apparently because of the sun, the ultraviolet rays from the sun, the flag on the moon now is faded. So it's literally, I don't think you see the American symbol anymore. I think it's just a piece of grey cloth. Like the colour's gone from it, the design's gone from it, it's just blank. So when you see the flag on the moon, it's just blank. I tried to get it where it was realistic, where RC was kicking dust up, and I'm not going to spoil it, but there's something that happened in Partners, and it's just like instant. And that instant, I wanted the audience to be like, what? That was a bit sudden, and that's the reaction I wanted, and I think it did get that. I also had Tailgate in the story, and he was never seen on screen. He was an audio character where RC was talking to him through the comlink, and we never heard him, but I wanted to create a character, and I said this to D. Barry, and I spoke about it in my commentary, and I think I also said it in my director's feedback while he was doing the lines. We were going back and forth, and I was sort of telling him, okay, say the line like this. And I was going through Tailgate's character, and I said I wanted to make a character that you don't see, but you still fall in love with because of how charismatic he was. And the shots that I do, I'm really happy with the moon. I'm happy how the camera rotates around and everything. And that end shot was pretty good. You know, I don't know whether it beats Magnus. It definitely beats these three. I don't know whether it's enough to beat Magnus. And it is I don't think it quite clears my best work, but it's on the happier side, like the high side of being happy. Now, Dawn of Corruption Part 3. Now, this was, I think Dawn of Corruption Part 3 aged pretty well. Happy with the story. Maybe some changes could be here and there, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I would say Dawn of Corruption Part 3 probably goes... See, at the time, it was some of my best work. I could do it better now, obviously. But where does it fit? Because it's good, and I'm definitely happy with it. It would probably be around these sections with Magnus and partners. But it's a really good story if you just want to sit down for 45 minutes and watch it. And the final battle's pretty good. I do a lot with the story. So I think it beats New Recruit. I think it beats Space Chase. Does it beat Escape from Chaos? You know, it might even go to one of my personal favorites. I'm going to leave it there for now. Yeah, you're welcome, Jude. Yeah, thank you for joining, Jude. I really appreciate you being in here. Thank you. Transcanning. Okay, this is a prequel to 1518 Days Without an Accident. Very happy with how it turned out. I couldn't really change anything with it. Again, maybe just visually, some shots could be improved. My phone is nearly dying. I'm going to have to rush through this. I'd say it's probably about here, Transcanning. 1518 Days Without an Accident. Interesting one. I don't even have to really explain, and this isn't because I'm rushing. Generally, I don't have to explain 1518 Days. I've talked about it a load of times, but I genuinely think it is probably. I'd say it's there. 1518 Days. Whenever I do it in a compilation, I'm always like, wow, yes. And even Thanatos has said before, yes, this is my favorite one. Training Exercises has a funny character, Long Arm. We see the Wreckers mistrusting him. I'm happy with that character development with that. I would say Training Exercises probably fits about there. I'm happy with it. It's not worst. It's not the personal favorites, but I'm really happy with it. Rebellion. Okay, that is going... You know, in terms of story, it's decent. But I think, I'm sorry, Harrison, but I think I've got to put it there. Not because it's hard. Well, it's mainly because of the fight scene, because that took about 3 weekends to film, like full days. It took like 6 days to do, added up. And I had to edit it so much. And it turned out probably one of the best fight scenes I've ever done. And I think that just tops it to some of my best work. Getting to the last two now. Peace Pipes. Straight away, I'm going to put it above We Are Here, We're Waiting. I collaborated with Thanatos Prime on this one. This was just an incredible story. You might be up to my dog in the other room. He's fine, don't worry. He's just moaning. I think I might put it there for now. End of Days Part 1. Generally, that is, I would say that goes... Because I've not finished End of Days yet. I've still got 5 parts to do. I'm working on Part 2 right now. What's that? I got my dog. See, it's better than that. I feel so much nostalgia for these three. I would say it goes, visually, it's pretty good. Happy with the music. Story is pretty good. It's heavy, but it does have a 13 primes in it, which I think may just push it there. And I'd say that, because Twins is a brotherhood story, got the story to it. Peace Pipes is also a story where you can just sit down for 20 minutes and watch a really cool episode. End of Days is a big action one, but it may not be for everyone because it's so long and story driven. And that's it. I think I'm pretty happy with that. My phone is on 5%. And I'm very happy with that. Maybe in the future it will change because I've got End of Days Part 2 and I've got other Expand Universe stories. And I will do a future one when I get a lot more installments out there. At the end of my universe, I'll do a big one where I rank everything. And these might change. But as of now, I'm very happy with that. If you guys want to do your own, let me know. I could send you the thumbnails or something if you really want them. But I'm very happy with how that is. Let me know what your thoughts are. What are your personal favourites of my work? What do you think is my best? What are you happy with? What do you think is good? And what do you think is all right but could be better? I think that's a pretty good ranking of where it stands. And it doesn't necessarily mean Dawn of Corruption Part 1 is better than Velocitronian Cup. It just means because I like the story of Dawn of Corruption better than Velocitronian Cup. But like visually, I'm happy with Velocitronian Cup. Dawn of Corruption is good. Could be better, but it is good. Same with like Space Chase and Partners. They're both good, but Space Chase, because of certain visual aspects and the fight, is some of my best work, so it moves it that bit up. My personal favourite is where it all sort of lies down. And I might just add that there. Maybe around there. Either between 1518 days and I think about there. So that's my rankings. It might change, but that's it. Let me know what your thoughts are. And yeah, thank you. Welcome, Bumblebee. We're just about to sign off, but if you're watching this after the stream's ended, I want to say thank you for joining me. Let me know your thoughts. Follow me on Instagram, TFM5000. Join my Discord in the link description below. And yeah, thank you very much. And I appreciate everyone being here with me today. First tier list I've ever done. It worked out pretty well, I think. So thank you so much. And you have a great day. And if you want to make your own, your own stop motion, your own story, go for it. Promise you, you won't regret it. Bumblebee, if you want to drop your Discord name, because I know some people have different Discord names to the YouTube name, feel free to drop it in the comments below. But other than that, thank you very much, and I will hopefully do another stream soon. Take care, everyone. Till all are one.